Hello and welcome to the quick take here on the YouTube channel after Fulham drew 3-3 with Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. What a game. Somehow from 4-1 down, we managed to get a point and we probably should have won it. I'm joined by Harry. Hello.
Hello, Sammy. My voice is... I've got a really big day tomorrow using my voice, funnily enough, and it hurts. I've screamed. I cried nearly at one goal that we're going to get into because it was... I can't say it. It's the most FIFA game I've ever seen in my entire life. It's ridiculous. Like... I don't know. Just speak, please.
How did we end up with that scoreline from that first half? Because, I mean, that was one of the most Josh 45 minutes I've ever seen.
It was like a mixture between someone had some Easter eggs early and got, everyone always says the salmonella of the Easter eggs or something like that. Don't eat Easter eggs this year because you're going to get very sick. That's what it felt like. And it was a bit of sort of like international break and people coming back from Dubai, probably a bit sun drunk. And it was just like, we are literally playing out for a 0-0 in this first half. And mate, I was writing some notes in the concourse. So of course, I'm going to do my own video as well. I'm going to have to change them all. I'm going to have to change everything because... like I said, you come out of the stadium, it doesn't actually feel like we're in reality right now. Like, it feels as if like we're going to lay in bed later and just be like, what actually did we just witness? And we've witnessed some special results this year. I was at Liverpool when we went 3-2 up and Liverpool brought it back. And that felt like an out-of-body experience. But this here, I just can't really... it's hard to break down. I'm trying to give a cutting-edge analysis for all of our viewers, but... I think anyone that was there and anyone that was watching it illegally, it was probably just shaking. Yeah. That's probably the best thing I can say. Sweating and tears.
I mean, defensively, we were all over the place. I think all three goals were poor. Particularly the first one, Tosin gives it away. And I do think that if you'd have offered me a draw before this game, I wouldn't have been happy. And, like, yes, it's amazing. We'll come on to the comeback. We'll come on to some of the goals. But, like, we've got to shape up a little bit. Come on, like... This is a poor Sheffield United team, and we gifted them 3 goals.
Arguably one of the worst teams that we've ever seen in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Easily. I don't even think that's a harsh take. I don't even think that's a bad take either. Arsenal, scored 5 goals against them in the first half. Newcastle went there and beat them 8-0. And that first half, I was like, mate, do you know what? We've got some quality here, definitely. Back line, I didn't actually think was that bad. Beres and Diaz in that first half was giving Castagna a bit of a run for his money. But Bassi and Tosin for that first half, rock solid, mate. I thought Bassi was actually pretty solid for the whole game, but Tosin... It's that old adage again, same as like last season. When he gets under pressure, sort of like poos his pants a little bit. He panics, tries to pass it into the middle of the park, it's closed down, then the team breaks and they go on and score.
Yeah.
I'm like, there's going to be people. Obviously, I hear people in like the away end shouting, like calling Toast and all sorts of names. But that's our centre back partnership now, and you don't need to change it for anything. It's just one of those freakish results. The season's pretty much done and dusted for us. They have everything to play for, and we all know that they're going to get relegated.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad that we could obviously make them feel like that they had a little glimmer of survival when they put 3 goals in the back of the net, and then a team that's obviously capable of sustaining a Premier League position can come back and prove actually you're not good enough for this league.
Yeah. Okay. But at 4-1 down.
Yeah,
at 4-1 down, I absolutely was on the floor. I never saw what happened coming. For it be to a really quite marginal offside, well, marginal in the sense that it was someone interfering with play, offside. I didn't see what happened. When maybe at 3-1, I was like maybe, but when it was 4-1, I was about. So many people walked out. Did you stay?
Yeah, of course I stayed because I'm just a bit sort of like
sadistic.
Yeah, people say like you've got to respect the players and stay. I don't. That's not me. Like, I mean, they're making however much money a week. I can give a damn really. But I've come up all of this way and I'm not going to leave because it's like, what was that? What was that Champions? Was it a Real Madrid game? Was it when they played like Man City or Chelsea a couple of years ago? And it was pictures of the Bernabeu, and it was everyone sort of like walking out, and then Benzema and Rodrigo went and scored, and then they went on to the Champions League final, I believe. You can't walk out of a game of football unless you're like 5-0 down at half time, because let's face it, you're not going to be scoring 5 goals in the second half.
But at 4-1, if that goal goes in, as much as I thought that Fulham had a chance, we were not coming back from 4.
I'm not leaving though.
Yeah.
Still at the same time, I'm not leaving.
I mean, Fulham got back into the game. It was Bobby Reid, his second touch with the ball. And actually, Silva, those subs that he made, I think Kearney came on, and Bobby came on, and Raul came on, Tete came on. And Sheffield United were at 6s and 7s once we made those changes. I guess it's a testament to the strong bench that we have, that actually, okay, we were in the shit, or we can bring on the cavalry, and that cavalry delivered.
I think one person you didn't mention there is Adama Traore. Mate, created so many gaps down that right-hand side, was such a nuisance. Got an assist as well, which you'll be happy with. I think he was the one that put the ball into the box for Muniz. He just like split. That's exactly what we needed. And everyone always says you need Adama to bring that pace into the game. Say like 65th, 70th minute when everyone's getting a bit leggy, coming back from an international break as well. Marco, for a few games this season, he's gotten the substitutions, put them on late, got them wrong, but this was absolutely spot on, mate. And in that first half, I thought Iwobi was going to get pulled off the first half, to be honest with you, because he just wasn't creating enough. Did we even see the introduction of Harry Wilson? I can't even remember.
No, he didn't.
My brain's just all over the place.
Wilson didn't come on. I guess after what Wales did, kind of understandable. But we've gone long enough now without talking about that goal. Rodrigo Muniz, I feel like, has been threatening either a bicycle or a scissor kick goal for his entire career. I mean, even since when he was in the Championship, he was attempting them. Finally, one went in, and it was magic. He got it right in the corner. And actually, once again, Rodrigo Muniz proving that there is serious quality there, because don't forget the header that hit the post was an outrageous attempt. He had some lovely touches in this game. Yes, okay, at points he went a bit missing, but my God, he's got some stardust, hasn't he?
It would have been, in my opinion, and I said it to you just before we hit record, probably one of the best Premier League headers of all time, if that went in. That's not me being delusional, because I'm a Fulham fan. If you look at the angle and how tight it actually is, for him to try and get it away, get enough elevation on the ball for it to wrap round as well, sublime. Absolutely sublime. The Rabona off the back of hitting the post, you said he didn't have any issues with it, but I'm just like, if you just put your left foot through it, there is a possibility that it could come off the goalkeeper, come off the defender.
But that's his confidence.
That's his confidence. But we've already got one striker who's on the bench who tried the Rabona about 5 times, Sammy. But the scissor kick, it's not a bicycle kick, it's a scissor kick. That's one of the best goals I've ever seen in the flesh.
Yeah. I think certainly for me, it's right up there, and also the moment as well to do that in stoppage time. I mean, was it stoppage? Can you call it stoppage time when it's 14 minutes?
90 plus 12. Something like that. You're getting to ridiculous 102 minutes. But mate, I almost had like tears in my eyes. I'm not trying to be dramatic in the sense of like getting clipped or anything. My head was just in my hands, like
same.
Sort of like seeing your team like winning the World Cup or something like that, or scoring like a 90th minute winner. I had feels of like Kearney scoring against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, even though that was so early on in the game, you just knew how special it was. And I'm saying it's special like we've just gone and won a cup. We've just literally
got an equaliser against the bottom side of the league.
Rescued a point against Sheffield United. But mate, question marks got to be asked now. Surely he's deserving that Brazil call up.
Yeah.
Like going into the Copa America, coming up into the summer as well. Imagine him coming off the bench. If say for like Richarlison, with all the issues that he's obviously got going on personally right now as well, and say if Richarlison doesn't go, what other options really? Are you going to play Vinicius Junior up front? Are you going to play Rodrigo or Endrick up front?
I mean, mental not to put him in the squad, but he's not going to start. I get that, but he's doing so much, and now like he's still keeping this record up, 8 in 8. He's going to break double figs. Like he's got 8 games with which to score 2 goals. He's going to break double figs.
It's like I said to you on the way here. If you like took us back 9 months ago, if you got in a time machine, you knocked on my door and you said Rodrigo Muniz is going to be our starting striker and he's going to be undroppable, I would have slammed the door in your face and probably never spoken to you again, mate. But the man is just surprising us. He's added so much to his game, mate. His strength. I remember saying about sort of like 6 months ago on the pod or something like that the guy just needs to get to know his body better. It was the same with Vinicius as well. 2 sort of like bulky guys that defenders would not like to go up against, who try to learn off of Mitrovic, and it's like now Rodrigo Muniz, something has just like clicked in his head. and now he's that guy.
Oh, he's really that guy, and some of the stuff he's doing on the pitch. Obviously, we had that 14 minutes. So basically, we got it to 3-3, and we had 13 minutes with which to find a winner. We didn't. Felt like we lost a little bit of momentum in that stoppage time. Sheffield United, I think, by this point, were just like, please don't lose this. I think they were just desperate not to lose the game. TC had the chance. I actually think TC, he knows it. You could see his reaction at the end. Like the team went over to applaud the fans. All the other players kind of applauding the team, but Tom was just there with hand on his face because he knows a player of his quality that was a big opportunity.
It's one of those things where it's like you've had your fairy tale. Do you know what I mean? Coming back from 3-1 down to equalise 3-3 is the fairy tale. Him scoring, and he probably should have done better than rather than put it down the middle like straight at the goalkeeper. Him actually scoring that in the sense of football fairy tales. We use the fairy tales about football fantasies or something like football dreams. I think that's just like a step too far. It would have been mental. And I can assure you, I probably would have had a stadium ban because my clothes would have been off. Mate, everything would have been off. Everything would have been off. I'd be gone. I'd never be allowed to go back to football. I'd probably lose my job at TalkSport, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it.
Is that one of the best Fulham games you've ever seen live? Because I'm putting it up there already in kind of top. In terms of the actual spectacle, obviously there'll be games like Hamburg and stuff, which were great moments.
Yeah.
But actually, in terms of the just overall game that I've gone and seen today, I brought some of my family with me who aren't Fulham fans today, and what a treat for the neutral that was today. And it feels like for me one of those that will go down in folklore in years to come.
Yeah, I actually agree with you on that because it's obviously all the Sheffield United fans like giving it large. I miss Palhinha's header. Because as soon as obviously I saw it hit his head, but as soon as I saw it hit his head, I knew it was going in, and my body instantly just like twisted over with my spine staying there, and then probably breaking my spine on the way through, just so I could hurl abuse at them, because it was just they were giving it large all game, and do you know what? I don't know what they were complaining about the referee.
He was worse to us.
I agree with you. I agree with you wholeheartedly, and I can't wait to see Chris Wilder's reaction. Do you know what? Like, there needs to be a strict ban now of Ollie McBurney and Chris Wilder. They're not allowed in the Championship for at least Premier League for at least about 5 years. Like, even though McBurney scored and got an assist, Ollie McBurney should not be allowed to do an outside of the boot pass for an assist. When you watch him run, it is literally like a child or an old granddad or any sort of human who's had diarrhea and they're trying so hard to get to the toilet. You watch it, it's literally like T-Rex arms go like this. It's like Slender Man chasing you in the woods.
He still scored against us.
But he did score against us. But he's League One. He's League One standard. It's nice to give clubs like Sheffield United something to celebrate, do you know what I mean? And then we just claw it back. But to get onto your original question, because I went on a bit of a tangent, that Aston Villa, the Liverpool game this season was special as well, even though we lost 4-3. But even like you always know, because Liverpool are such a clutch side, and they're always going to bring it back. It didn't have that same sort of like rapport between the away end and the home end. Because obviously Liverpool, it's a massive football club, but at the same time, when it's a club like Fulham coming to Liverpool, it's not like a title decider. It's not a Manchester City going to Anfield or an Arsenal. That beating Luton in the playoff, not in the playoffs, in the last home game of the season when we went 7-0. That was like somewhat special because that made us feel like we were the real deal. And then the next week after that, finally, we went up there and lost 4-0.
But as a game for a neutral, I feel like this was one of the top ones.
Thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this episode of the Fulhamish Quick Take. NordVPN is the easiest way to watch football matches and TV shows which aren't available in your region. You can also use it to protect your identity online, and you can benefit from things like cheaper flights by switching your virtual location. I use NordVPN all the time to watch ESPN Plus, which is a subscription I have that's only available in America. If I want to watch anything that's on there, I just switch my location to the USA. Hey presto, I can watch it. No fuss, really, really easy. And you can use up one account on up to 6 devices. So my dad sometimes logs in and uses my NordVPN subscription, and that's absolutely okay. And you can get a great deal on NordVPN right now by going to nordvpn.com/Fulhamish. You get 4 free months. Plus, if you're in the UK, USA, Canada, or Australia, you'll get a free Uber Eats voucher when you sign up using that link. So to benefit from that great rate plus 4 free months plus the Uber Eats voucher if you're in any of those locations, go to nordvpn.com/Fulhamish.
Just before we go, I always ask on the quick take, man of the match, from putting you on the spot.
God.
Anyone that you can single out for a particular bit of praise? I mean, for me, I thought that... Well, it's a tough one, actually.
It is hard,
it's
isn't
a
it?
tough one because obviously, like, we were poor defensively. I thought that Zhao had his moments.
I did think Joao had his moments, but do you know what? I probably, and this might be a bit of a rogue shout because I've slagged him off over the last couple of weeks before the international break. I thought some of the key passes that Andres Pereira made were phenomenal. Like, it's when you're sort of like that close to the pitch, when you're in the away end or a home end or whatever. When you watch him play and he say someone's like underlapping or overlapping, you don't think that he's gotten enough on the ball. It's almost like time stands still a little bit. The ball doesn't seem to be moving fast. But then say like a Robinson like comes in or out, and he gets it. He was so pivotal, and there was like periods in that second half, like probably opening 10 minutes of the second half, where we easily probably should have. Sasha Lukic had a chance. Iwobi had a chance as well. We should have put the ball in the back of the net, and I think he was such an integral playmaker in that as well. Makes you think if he was out, would Kenny probably be able to do the same thing? Probably. But yeah, man of the match, I'm going to give it to Andres Pereira. People will probably say different because obviously people do have an agenda over Andres Pereira. I'm very sort of like, he's always one way or the other. I would have given it to Bassi off the back of the first half because I thought he was insane.
But after all the defensive mistakes,
Timothy Castagna struggled. Robbo, was decent. Palhinha got a goal, decent.
The one for me, actually, I think is an outside bet. Willian, I thought, was very good today as well, and I think showed his class. Also, though, I think if you're looking at man of the match for me, and look, goals get points when it comes to me for ratings and man of the match. Rodrigo Muniz. Like, he went missing for large chunks of the game, but also had the clutch moment and also made some big opportunities.
Well, it's just coming into the second half. You know what I mean? You only had that really clear-cut chance in the first half where he put it straight at, Gribic? Put it straight at him, and then obviously tried the Rabona. But second half-wise, he was phenomenal. Willian as well. That link-up play, I say it every time, the link-up play between Robinson and Willian is just something to be admired. Yeah. And that's why I really wanted us to sign someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi last summer, because I was like, even though he's gone to Nottingham Forest and he scored like one wonder goal, but it's not really like worked out like amazingly. I saw him as a perfect person to learn off Willian. Of course, he would have been a youngster when Willian was there at Chelsea and whatnot. But it's weird. Like, and I've said it before, Willian was washed, and it's literally like, what is he, 35, 36? So he's 26, 27 years old. It's emotional, Sammy.
Sign the ting, Willian. All right, well, thank you very much for watching today. Let us know what you thought of the match down in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe already. And hello to all the Sheffield United fans already getting in the comments defending Chris Wilder and Ollie McBurney. Harry, thank you.
Pleasure, as always.
Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the podcast for more reaction to today's game. You whites.